All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich Celenza. Thanks for checking out my channel. So what I want to get into today is balding. I don't even know what I'm going to name this title, but I get hit up a lot with dudes, you know, kind of being insecure because they're balding or losing your hair, whatever the case may be. Obviously, I get it. Uh, and it's hard if you're somebody like myself who used to really have a great head of hair. And I was able to do a lot of things with my hair. It was incredible. And I had such thick hair, right? We goof around. My cousins, everybody talks about it. Even my father, because he was a hairstylist. He was one of the best in Chicago. And he had clippers, professional clippers once. And my hair was so thick, he couldn't even use them. And I don't know what the hell happened, but it went. Um, what I want to get in this video is a couple things regarding being bald, not knowing what to do. And I have a lot of these friends still. I remember going through all these different phases, not me, but a lot of other people when plugs were a big thing. A lot of my friends that ended up getting plugs ended up looking worse. So that went to the wake side. A lot of them ended up getting toupees. That again went to the wake side. And now more than ever, obviously balding is more accepted. I don't know if it came from Europe or whatever. I think Jordan was probably the first to really put it on the map. I also think people like Vin Diesel, maybe Jason Statham, The Rock, all these type of guys took it to another level, which is good for me. But I'll tell you what I went through. Because I never really wanted to be a bald either. I used to be around 250 pounds and I had the comb back here. I guess if you look at my first film, Sore Losers, you'll be able to see I basically look like Tony Soprano. That's what they used to call me. That's kind of the way my movements, my actions, which now I look nothing like him. But back then, that's what I looked like, especially with his hairstyle and his body type. Except he's a lot taller than me. And I remember when I was like 250 pounds, I once shaved my head and I was married and I was a lot bigger, my neck and everything. And I was like, oh my God. And I used to always clean shave. I don't know if you grew up in an Italian type family, but you're supposed to always clean shave, especially if you went to dinner or whatever. We were, for the most part, it's so different now, but back then it was always about being clean shaved. But I shaved my head just to see what it would look like, and I thought I looked horrible. And a lot of other people did too, including my ex-wife, which was funny. And I lived in Florida and I'm like, oh my God, I'm just too much face. I look like a beaming light. And I said, I can never go bald. What am I going to do? So fast forward then, a few more years, I'm losing more and more hair. It's looking worse than ever. I call it the bozo. It's just, I couldn't keep this right. And I had sprouts. It just wasn't working. But I didn't know what to do. I remember last time I shaved my head, I looked like shit. So I started filming my film, Sore Losers. And I remember starting that film, and it took us about 2 years to shoot from the beginning to the end. And I kept looking at myself. And then when I went to go edit, let me not even get into editing yet, but I remember I was talking about it for months. I'm like, I just have to shave my head. But I realized I can't shave my head to the point where it's scalped. That's what I didn't like. It was too much head for me. I wanted some color here. And my cousin who also, a lot of my family members cut hair for the film and television industry in Chicago, and I went and saw her at a salon. She bounced between working in the studio and a salon. And she's like, you've got to go with the 5 o'clock shadow hair. You got to go with a beard. You got to lower, you know what I mean? You got that. It's thick. It's nice. You're too clean shaved and too bald anyways. It's just too much. And she says, plus when you look at somebody, they look at you and then that hair on the face lowers it. But I'm like, that looks sloppy. You got to realize this is the early 2000s. And she's like, you got to do it. You just got to do it. Let me show you something. So she did my hair, but she didn't scalp it. She went to like a 2 at the beginning or maybe a 1. And she said, let this grow in. I think I already I was clean shaved. She's like, let that grow in. And just, she showed me what to do. And I did it. And I liked it. So to make a long story short, I had to finish my film. But I was really looking forward to shaving my head and doing this new look. I was just exhausted from having to keep my hair that same way for 2 years. The last day of shooting, I lived in Presidential Towers, downtown Chicago, and did I go there or Neiman Marcus or somewhere? I literally left the last day of shooting, the set that we're shooting on. It was actually at a correctional center. I went, shaved my head, and never looked back. And again, I found what worked for me. And I think a lot of guys, listen, if you want to shave your head, don't again think you have to shave it according to what everybody else is doing or the look. You may have a lot of different looks you can work with. Again, you can go down to the scalp here if you want a 0. Go ahead. You may want to try a 1. You may want to try a 2. Okay. Down here again, you may just want to do a 5 o'clock shadow. You may want to go full beard. You may want to even go longer. You may want to go goatee. You may want to go mustache. Try them all out, because a lot of times, what you thought you wouldn't look good may end up looking a lot better than actually what you have now. But one of the things I talk a lot about, even in my books and my programs, is I think one thing that men have to do for the most part, if you don't live in a warm climate and you can't get sun, is keeping your head tan to a certain point. I think when it gets too pale, that's what's brutal. That real pale look, especially with photos and things. You can get some Jergens, and I've done videos on this if you want to check it out, regarding shaving your head, how to do it, and your beard, and how to kind of keep your head and your face tan without spending tons of money. You don't have to go get spray tanned every few days. You don't have to go to a tanning spa or tanning salon. Like I was just saying, there's facial creams that tan you up. You just got to find the right one for you, and not over tan where it makes you orange, and not putting too much on at one time. Just kind of using it periodically, just to slowly but surely get color to your head. It's just going to look a lot better. But also not where your face is tan and say you're very light skinned here, where it looks like you're almost wearing makeup. Then you're going to have to probably go more or less with more like some type of tanning within your body. Again, I do that. I did a video on that as well, on how to tan your body correctly. And I'll actually, if I remember, I'll put them on the links below. But yeah, again, don't be afraid. Experiment. And I'm telling you right now, if you are somebody too, and you could do whatever the hell you want to do, if you're kind of looking like a George Costanza dude, which again, you can do it. I don't care what weight you are, how tall you are. Going with that bozo look here and just letting it grow out more and more hair with the clean shave, it's not my thing. I think it makes you look entirely outdated. Again, you can look any way you want. But again, I'm going to go back to finding what works best for you, but tighter to me, tighter as far as hair goes, the better. Down here, I don't care if you're a hipster, you're a lumberjack, whatever, make it work for you. You can also do different designs on your face that are cool. And, but I really don't think, now again, if you want to go plugs, or I think they have more sophisticated type things that may work better for you or that you may like. Go do it. If you got all the money in the world, do whatever you want. Again, toupees, you want to do that. I just think, for the most part, if you're balding, just bite the bullet. Go with it. See how it looks. But I will say, too, a lot of guys I've seen, they don't necessarily look good bald. I'm not going to bullshit you there either. Some guys have too big of almost of a forehead. Their head's too high. Again, they may be too very pale. They may have, their head may look, a little, I don't want to say disfigured, just doesn't look smooth. They don't have like that egg head, a kind of a smoother, or whatever you want to say, like just a very oval style head. I get it. It's not easy. Here's the trick. You can always go back. Your hair's going to grow back most likely. I'm just telling you. So it's not like something you can't go back to doing. I wouldn't ever, my father does it, he's hilarious, but I would not do the comb over. I don't care, to me. If you're maybe a hairstylist, you could pull it off. But for the most part, I really believe in this day and age, the more natural you look, the better off you're going to be. You go back to the 70s and even 80s and 90s, these crazy comb overs and these hairstyles and the plugs, like I said, and all, too much hair, it's whack. At least I think it is. But if you don't want to be bald, you don't want to be bald. And if you are going bald, I don't know what else to tell you. If you maybe go out and create a pill, because anybody truly could cure baldness will probably be a billionaire overnight. So I just want to do a video on this, but I'm telling you, if you're afraid to being bald, I get it. But also there's a lot of options, and you may be shocked. You may look a lot better than you think. Don't always go by what you think on how you look. And I know a lot of times balding is a form of aging, right? It's like getting gray hair or anything else. A lot of us don't want to accept it. And it's hard. It's not easy, but I would definitely at least give it a shot. But like I said, try different things and experiment. Just because you're balding or you shave your head does not mean you have to go to a zero, like I was saying, and totally scalp yourself. All right, make it work and test different things and keep a tan or at least get some color on there. I believe. That's just what I think. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. All right. If you get a chance, you might want to check out my website, richcelenza.com. I'm always trying to really actually help people live an incredible life affordably, also help men build confidence in many different things. And this kind of falls into that. I definitely want men to have confidence regardless if you're bald or not. But I'm also on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you get a chance, subscribe and take care. You got any questions or comments, hit me up. All right? Us baldies got to stick together. That was ridiculous. But did you ever see the movie The Wanderers? The Baldies. Anyways, there's a gang in there called the Baldies. All right, take care, and I wish you nothing but the best.